You have been visited by the spirit of cute white boy. Main tank differential will come your way, but only if you spam go see dub go.
We got one, we got one.
Well, she
Which-
what?
totally doing this the first time, not the second. How you guys doing? Welcome back. My name is Mustard. We're back again with another B-League Brawl. Yeah, you know how it is. It's the third installment. We're here, first day of matches. We have crewmate moment against, I believe, the team is called Spooky Specters. So yeah, I mean, I'm joined by Mega Lass. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Funny crewmate moment. Ha ha ha. And
Indeed, and yeah, talk about crewmate moment. Just seems fitting.
Crewmate moment. Yeah, just to start because we're a little bit behind, but that's okay. Crewmate moment. I would think the standout for this team obviously is going to be Josh, and always the one you're going to be looking at. But interestingly enough, for those of you who know the Bad Pachimari League, we actually have the support line from potentially the worst team to ever play in the Bad Pachimari League, being Rafa and PogChamp from Super Bowl. So it's going to be very interesting to see them in this new environment with new teammates surrounding them.
Indeed.
Mustard to talk about Spooky
Specters. I mean, this team definitely an interesting bunch. Personal favorites: Zool, great DPS player on interns. Mid-season pickup for them really turned the team around, made them, interns the only team to take a map off of Daydream. A B-League map, a B-League team take a map, that is. Chicken Nugget God, gods of B-League right there. Lettuce, Burns. Yeah, and for those that have been around for a long time, you'll see a familiar name you might see quite a name you haven't seen in a while. Shrachi is here. Back at it, having fun. I think this will be an interesting matchup for sure. I mean, Josh on main tank.
Josh on main tank. He proclaims that he's been practicing his Winston an awful lot, like he's just hit the rank ladder, that's all he's been playing. And I mean, Winston, it's not a terrible pick, especially with his first map being Watchpoint Gibraltar, all that high ground for Winston to take advantage of. And just hopefully Joshin can produce the results he's expecting, because I think, as you said, the pressure's gonna be on him.
Yeah, I do want to see the support line for crewmate moment, because Rafa, we all know he not exactly played on the best team, and along with PogChamp, Daniel, they both from Super Bowl. It'll be interesting to see how they perform in this slightly different setting as we head into the map here. I think high ground control is going to be imperative.
Yes, indeed. They're just going to be poking out right now. The difference in comps you see here is obviously one team on the Echo, the other on McCree. I feel like McCree can get a lot of value, but it's going to be about positioning.
Oh, that is a big anti-nade onto Burns there. Looks like Josh unable to secure the kill, however, is able to get back to safety. Katie able to pick off Zool there, though. That is going to be a big pick for the defense. So definitely going to slow down the attackers here for just a little bit. We shall see how it goes. This is a little skirmish happening between Lettuce and Flaws. Who comes out on top? Looks like neither, as no one died. But yeah, I think just controlling that high ground space, whoever can utilize their Winston, their bubble rotation the best, I think takes this first point, especially.
Absolutely, and as you saw, Joshin's already down, so you're kind of forced to give up some of that space if your crewmate moment, kind of just having to regroup, because without that Winston, you really can't do a whole heck of a lot, especially against the McCree, which is just going to have so much free poke, and we're seeing Chicken start the dive here.
Yeah, he does jump in, does a little soft dive into the front, just kind of taking up the space, getting some poke down. But it does fall very low. Josh going in with the Primal. Kaden and Karts find two players, so it looks like Spooky Specters are going to have to go back to spawn here, as Josh is just cleaning up house with the Primal Rage, popped on the point to keep himself alive. That was a clean fight. That was a fast one, if anything. One and done there. So definitely looking at crewmate moment, especially Josh, and we all know him. He played in A-League, did well, and here he is playing main tank. Obviously, he does have that higher level expertise, so it is going to be on him to call the shots for this team. I honestly believe that is the one thing. Yeah, that's the one thing that's keeping him up here. This nano boost, not a big fan of this nano boost. Not a big fan of the nano boost. Didn't really get much with it. Daniel zoned off with the break, though. Will he be able to get anything? Chicken unable to pop the Primal. It's going to really cost him. But Josh and Lettuce finding two picks. This might be the time to turn it. Rafa using the nano boost onto Josh and going into the back line. Not really going to be able to do anything as Arc gets gets a kill on the Flaws. It looks like Spooky Spectres are going to be clawing their way out of this one as they slowly roll the cart into point A here.
Yes, indeed. They're able to take away point A. Also, with not a lot of ultimates committed. Pretty much just the Nano, the Rally, and the Deadeye. But you're still having quite a bit to be able to snowball this momentum. You're coming
that's a
up.
nasty stagger. A nasty late kill from Spooky Spectres onto Daniel. Oh, and Carts as well. So this payload is just going to be cruising through second point.
I mean, yeah, it's the unfortunate thing about Gibraltar second is if you get that forward spawn by yourself, you're just staggered. You need to die as quick as possible. And, you know, sometimes you don't get that opportunity. Sometimes the other team knows that they have the advantage on you. Going into this next fight, I think what you're going to be looking for if you're the Spectres is going to be this Grav Pulse, and it's already out.
Oh my god. 3 kills with the Grav Pulse. Nice combo there from Zul and Lettuce. It looks like they're trying to claw this back for the crewmates, but they invest 2 ultimates, but the cart just rolls in anyways. The Echo duplicate does go to waste, able to get a grab off, but not really much. Joshin getting out by the skin of his teeth after popping the Primal, looking to disrupt Spectres, but Spectres looking unfazed as they go into into third point here. 4 minutes on the time bank, like, oh my god.
Yeah, the payload never stopped on second point. There was never a fight, and we're still kind of in this staggered out fight where people are getting picks back and forth as you see Lettuce going down. 2 Flaws. Now on the Hanzo. I think it's very interesting to go Hanzo on this point as it doesn't really deter the Winston as much as something like a Kree or even an Ashe can. And Chicken starting this fight again with a Nano.
There it is, the nice soft dive with a Nano boost. He's able to get 1, but the rest of his team falls behind him, and there's not much you can really do against a rallying Brigitte. Especially since the rest of the team just collapsed on the backline. I believe Carts threw in the grab as well, just to make sure that Spectres don't really have, you know, any kiting ability as they engaged onto the backline. And sure, I guess you do kill 1, but it's just not really that worth it. And but that is a trade you take though, a grab and a rally for a Nano boost.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we're already getting into this next fight, looking for the grab ult potentially.
There it is. The grab comes out. Will there be a pulse bomb? Yes, there is. Looks like it's stuck on the shield. A lot of trades happening, but these trades are going to favor crewmate Moment as they do have more bodies up. That was just a lot of trading there. A lot of trades there just happened all at once. And oh,
it's a very chaotic fight as we have a miniature pause. I think someone disconnected for about half of a second, but it's fine. We're already back into the game.
In the action, indeed.
And I mean, Flaws proving me wrong there with the huge picks on Hanzo. As long as you're able to consistently land those headshots, I mean, I guess it's just as good as McCree, you know? There's nothing really wrong with it. That is true. Yeah,
and again, another engagement here. Chicken doing the soft dive into the front with Lettuce looking to get a pick in the back. Strachey using the rally to keep her team nice and topped up. Lettuce able to pick off Rafa. So it's but the duplicate from Kaden onto the Brigitte does mean that there will be 2 supports back on the field, 2 breaks even, so that is devastating. A Dragon Strike going out from Flaws, picks off Strachey, but Chicken Nugget got taking out his counterpart in Joshin before backing up and actually getting taken out. So looks like crewmate Moment hold on just barely. I mean, DPS are coming in so clutch here.
Yes, indeed. And it's pretty interesting because normally when you're on this third point, you see something like a McCree or the Ashe for the defense that's always holding the high grounds. And because it's just so powerful, you know what I mean? Like, it's just such an advantage to be able to look down upon your opponent at all time and them not really be able to get to you without committing a lot of resources. But crewmate Moment not really opting into that. They want to play this Brawl on the payload, and it's just working out for them so far.
Yeah, and I mean, Cards with a grab here. No Dragon to follow up, but the rest of the team is there. So Josh and Kaden Cards picking up kills here. Burns trades 1 for his team, but you're going to need a little more than 1 if you're going to want to break this defense, as they're going to have to go back to spawn here, I think. If you're trading, they just have to go for trades. They have to go for picks. That's it. I don't think there's really any other way they break it. Ooh, not in time. He gets taken out anyways. Invest the pulse bomb as well, so there's no grab pulse combo for them coming up. The Dragon undercard from Flaws opening up this fight wide open. Kaden picking off Burns in that high noon state. Zul does get 1 onto Cards, but everyone else is falling. Zul picks up another one, trying to wrestle this back for his team, but it's all for naught as crewmate moment coming out on top, proving they are not the imposters in this fight.
Obviously not the imposters with just under 30 seconds left. We're seeing Let Us go over to the Reaper now, potentially just trying to punish this monkey.
Oh,
and able to punish that monkey. Exactly.
Way too deep. Way too deep.
Way
So
too
this
deep.
is the moment. This is the moment for Spooky Spectre. Chicken Nugget got going into the back without a primal. However, he is able to stay topped up. Shachi close to that rally that will have to be the difference maker here. The McCree copy and the rally and the nano boost from crewmate moment. Oh, Kaden picking up 2 with the duplicate high noon. Just wreaking havoc on the McCree here. 1, 2, 3. The funny 225 HP. Shachi with the rally looking to bring it back for a team, but it's only you and Chicken on the point. There's really not much you can do. You have to make sure you stay on it. Overtime Wick burns really fast. Daniel does fall, however. But looks like Chicken and Shachi are finally taken out. Burns is back on the Kree, gets a stun off, but not really much else as Arc gets taken down. Another stagger in from Lettuce, but it should just all be crewmate moment. Just once again, proving they are not the imposters.
Yes, indeed. But on the upside for the Spooky Specters here, you did get it all the way to point 3. You know, Gibraltar is a map you don't always see that third point. You can get held at quite a few different points on this map, so you kind of have to take that progress, and you have to really learn from what you saw there. Obviously, Caden on the Echo was having such a large impact on the game, as well as Joshin's Monkey. You know, maybe another hit scan in the mix, maybe just something to help deter this aggressive dive. If you're going to be Spooky Specters, because you got to come into this and, like, you know your win con at this point. You got to get to point 3. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah, I mean, Gibraltar is not a map known for getting past first or even second, and like the fact that they got it to third is really good. All they have to do, they have a strong defense here on first and second. They can just slowly chip away at that time bank, and they'll be in a really good position to take this map. But man, their momentum absolutely just got stunted after their attack. They had 4 minutes going into third point, and they could barely even push it any further than what they started with.
I mean, yeah, that's just kind of how it goes, unfortunately. Just the pressure that was coming out from the DPS, and just highlighting again Joshin. But something that kind of goes unnoticed that you also have to point out is Rafa and PogChamp. Like, neither of them felt any pressure at all. They were able to just kind of free heal their entire team and never really worry about it.
Yeah, Lettuce was not that progressive. Was not super strong or aggressive on Tracer flanks on the back line. Chicken Nugget God never really went in for those deep dives onto the support line, so they were just able to heal up their entire team, standing, you know, in the comfort of their own team. Joshin picks off 2, but Chicken Nugget God trading one for flaws. Caden might fall here. 17 HP, looks like able to stay alive. Trades are going both ways, but it looks like Spooky Specters are gonna have to back up, as crewmate moment do have that spawn advantage.
Yes, indeed. Right out of the spawn at the start, they were able to TP across, get their whole team onto the high ground, and just leave the Tracer to push cart, which is pretty much the preferred, perfect method of playing this map, just because the Tracer isn't really needed for that first fight. And as you saw, Joshin was able to get 2 picks while the Tracer was dueling the other monkey on the cart. Going into this next fight, though, Lettuce can maybe hold a pulse early, as Joshin's just going in super aggressive.
Seed. Oh, there it is. Joshin getting taken out. A big anti-nade from Rafa. Catches half of Spooky Specters there. They're able to get a pick off that onto Burns, and Strachey falling a little later. It looks like Zul getting one onto Cards with the help of that pulse bomb. Flaws is 1 HP. Actually 1. There it is. Lettuce getting that kill. Just barely getting out with his life. It looks like Spooky Specters hold on.
Yes, indeed. And they only really committed Pulse into that fight. Obviously, you didn't have anything else quite built up to commit. And you've seen the monkeys just kind of poke each other. This is almost like a mutual agreement to be like, hey, we both need to build Primo, so we're just going to go ahead and just poke each other out. And now it's online for both of them. Let's see who can get the more value. My money is going to be on Joshin, though, because he's been lighting it up with these primals so far.
Yeah, Chicken just getting slapped, knocked off the high ground. He does have the primal in the event something goes south. The graph from Cards catches half the team, and it looks like Flaws with that pulse bomb into the backline. Able to get 1. Just a 4v2. Never mind. Yeah, it's just kills going all for crewmate moments. So they're going to be able to push this card in, but they did eat 2 minutes, and if you just keep on that pace, just, you know, clean fights, no staggers. A nice sleep on the Caden from Arc. should help prevent a lot of these stagger kills from coming through. So they should be able to have a good second point defense. But Joshin has something to say about it. He's gonna popping the primal onto Arc, but he's going a little too deep, unable to secure the kill onto the Ana, even giving her high ground. How nice of him. As Joshin's gonna have to start kiting back here. Strachey gets taken out by Rafa of all people. This is just an interesting fight going back and forth. Kaden with the duplicate onto the Winston, getting a kill onto Burns there. So Spooky Spectres are gonna have to stabilize soon. Chicken going in. I don't think that's really what you want to do when you're down 2, but the nano boost being invested here. Joshin just zapping up the entire back line, I think. This is just space that you're taking for free. I mean, that card has not stopped.
It has not, and Joshin was very smart there. Instead of chasing, just regrouped with his team, made sure that they hold space, and they should be able to lock point to him. Joshin actually falls.
Joshin! Oh my god, Lettuce!
Grab pulse.
Oh, nice grab pulse. Once again, Lettuce taking out 3 with that combo as Kaden, last one alive in the back. Not really much you can do there. And wow. I missed that. I missed that combo. Zul once again.
I think all eyes were on Joshin there just because he was trying to body block Chicken from coming in, but guessing it was Lettuce on the Tracer able to sneak in the other door, just come in, touch the cart. But that is in the
past. And then Zul launching the grab as well.
Yeah,
just another clean grab pulse combo from Spooky Spectres. You could tell they've been working hard on those combos as crewmate moment sent back to spawn there as both Winston's taking a tickle fight. The ult advantage is definitely in the favor of crewmate moment. It'll be interesting to see how they work with this. Both teams trade Anas. Looks like Brig also going down, maybe? Yeah, there it is. Joshin getting taken out of carts. Gets picked by Lettuce though. Zul falling. Joshin, nah. As Kaden picking up one onto Burns and Chicken. No, getting sent back to spawn. It looks like crewmate moment are gonna be able to roll this in 3.5 minutes. Just shy of the 4 minutes that Spooky Spectres had going into this point. So it'll definitely be interesting if we see a similar situation with the holds.
You have to give all the credit in the world to Joshin in that fight. I mean, able to find picks onto both supports. Obviously, it sucks to lose your Ana in that engagement, but just the constant value he was able to get, and then killing the Zarya as well. Just lights out. Plus, when you're able to win these fights with just Primal, it gives your team such the ult advantage as you see now for crewmate moment. I mean, Grab Pulse is online, and I think it's going to be deadly unless Lettuce can find something early.
Grab, Pulse, and Duplicate against really only a Pulse Bomb. This is... You need a miracle if you are Spectres. And it looks like Flaw's getting one with the Grab Pulse. Joshin getting another one. Chicken Nugget God falling as well. Duplicate onto Winston. So he can't even swap to save ball as looks like Art getting picked off here. That should be it. There it is. Yellow box of victory has been achieved for crewmate moment as they go up 1-0 in the series.
I mean, that was just kind of the story of unrelenting aggression and just also the phenomenal ult economy. Being able to win those fights with either 1 or 2 ultimates is just absolutely big for any team. But the fact that crewmate moment was able to do it with consistency, as you're seeing.
Oh my god, Flaws. Absolutely nasty. He single-handedly turns that defense for his team, and as you saw in that play of the game, just absolutely insane stuff coming out from that Hanzo pick, which didn't really look that strong to begin with, and he just made it work.
Yes, indeed. Obviously, I was berating the Hanzo the entire time, but they made it work. So now it's going to be on the Spooky Spectres to pick the next map, which is going to be a hybrid map. I mean, maybe you're not confident in your Winston play. Chicken Nugget God, not a Rhine one trick necessarily, but definitely a better Rhine than Winston. So maybe you're looking to go somewhere like King's Row, perhaps, just to be able to
for sure.
All mirror instead of this monkey mirror, because I think Joshin's just been lights out in terms of this monkey duel.
And we see Zul, traditionally a DPS player, it was on the Zarya, so I believe Spectres will probably be looking to sub him out if they're not going to be playing any sort of any double bubble comps, which frankly speaking, double bubble, it's not good on every map, as good as that comp is. And I definitely do want to see the Chicken Nugget God Reinhardt come out. I think that it'll be great. I want to see the main tank battle from Joshin and Chicken. I think it'll be amazing to watch.
I think
but
it'll
it
be
all
very good. But
yeah, but
also you have to
everything
keep in
hinges on
mind,
what map they go to. Looks like they're gonna go to Blizzard World. So again, looking to play double bubble.
yeah. I mean, looks like Zool is going to be staying in as well, so you're definitely
I
going
don't
to
I
probably
don't
see
think
that
they have
double
any
bubble.
subs. They might not have any subs.
Maybe just nobody to sub out. Uh, I mean, it's going
Yeah,
to be
Shadowcat. Oh
interesting
wait, before we miss it, Shadowcaster does come in for Daniel,
for crewmate.
for crewmate moment. Yep, and Shadow, I believe you did ask how's the food. It's good. Quite expensive. Because I live somewhere pretty expensive, but it's quite good.
I mean, yeah, and I think it's just going to be a matter of with Strato and can they supports on crewmate moment keep up this ability to just pretty much live forever, as there's not really a lot of pressure being delivered onto them. Stratocaster shouldn't have any troubles. I think it's going to be all on the Spooky Specters to try to exert that pressure, unless you see some maybe over aggression, a little bit of overconfidence, if you will, and yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting. I think also something that needs to be pointed out here is, admittedly, even though she's been trying her hardest on this Brigitte, Strachey is a self-proclaimed Mercy one trick.
True.
So it's very interesting to see her play Brig. I don't think her Brig is like bad at all. It's just the matter of the team not being able to keep up the tempo the same way that crewmate moment is.
Yeah, and I mean, again, Joshin, definitely a team leader. Has the shot calling ability. He has kind of that game knowledge, the game sense to lead a team. So definitely, definitely for crewmate moment, they do have Joshin's comms going for him. Again, I believe like when he's not on DPS, I believe he is. He's like what, like 38, I think.
Uh, Seeing as I've
Something
come
like
up
that.
against him in my ranked games, I would be surprised if he was 3,800.
I have no
No.
clue.
I
It's somewhere,
believe
somewhere
he's,
there, somewhere there.
but he's like, regardless of his actual SR, I think it's somewhere in low diamond. He always plays with, a lot of higher SR players, and he's able to kind of gain that experience. As much as he clowns around, he does have a brain rattling around in that skull of his, and he can make it work.
Indeed, I
Speaking of
mean,
make it work, we're seeing potentially Rush come out here on Blizzard World of all maps, which makes you wonder why,
indeed.
if you're Spooky Specters, you had the map choice. Why not force it to King's Row if you're gonna force this Rush?
Especially with that Zul Diva, I don't. That does not inspire confidence. If I were to play Rush on this map, I'd definitely go towards the right side. And come in from behind onto the support line. But it looks like they're just gonna opt for the left side, take the fight as a little skirmish coming out here. Strachey getting picked off early. The lamp coming out from Arc, but doesn't really save anyone. Gets taken out instantly. And Lettuce able to pick off 2, but you're gonna need a little more than 2 if you are Spooky Specters. As there it is, Zul getting demacked. A little stagger demack onto Zul, but
Yes, indeed.
man,
The unfortunate stagger there at the end.
I don't think you run Rush here. I really don't.
Well, I mean, let's just look forward as if they're running Rush and what their win cons are going to be. I mean, you're starting to come up towards that window. That's the one advantage Rush will have in this kind of matchup, is you're going to have window very consistently and very quickly. And if you can capitalize off of that, such as with a Fire Strike or even a Deadeye, as Lettuce was able to get picks on the fight, is building close to it, already at 70%. But the dives in and the anti is big onto.
There it is, Joshin also going in on that anti, picking off 2 with the Primal. Man, this man has been nasty with the Primals. Primal blading, if you will, against Spooky Specters here. I mean, if you're playing Rush, your win condition is just being able to get around to the right side without taking poke, without losing any of your players, and then just running at the back. Running in the back line is your best bet here. Especially, again, May McCree, anyone that gets caught lacking gets caught. So that is definitely has to be your win condition for Spooky Specters. I mean, it's just not looking up. I mean, like, Shachi is only 35% to beat 2 minutes in the game.
Yeah, and I think that's just a matter of Strachi has been getting picked a lot, and these
Oh,
rotations.
there it is. There it is. They're going right side. They're looking to ambush this little high ground here, where the entirety of crewmate moment are set up, The window coming out to keep people alive. Flaws with the late dragon, not with the graviton surge. Just a Kaden with the Reinhardt duplicate as well. Lettuce once again picking off 2 in a lost fight. I guess this is just the recurring theme now.
Yeah, but the upside there for Spooky Spectres is you didn't commit any ultimates, you know, so you're gonna have everything going into this fight. You just forced out both Dragon and the duplicate. Fortunately,
And
you
Grav.
probably and Grav, yeah. So, but you're probably aware of the fact you're gonna have to deal with the nano boosted monkey, and he's probably gonna have primal. But I mean, this window of Fire Strike, it just has to find one of the squishies, and all of a sudden you have a huge advantage just off of the one ultimate, and then it can still provide more from there.
Yeah, I think if they do nano the monkey here, they're gonna have to look to CCM potentially with the shatter. Oh, Josh and jumping over the shatter chicken nugget god. Where are you pinning? But Josh and does get picked off with the high noon, focusing on that monkey. As Burns picking off cards here, they 6v4 in favor of Spooky Spectres. They are going in. Zool getting slept and CC'd up. Kaden falling as well. The rally from Shadowcaster. They're gonna be looking to turn this, but Zool does have the bomb. Looks like they don't touch.
You cannot commit rally there if you're Shadowcaster and then proceed not to touch. Like if you're going to commit, you have to go in.
But it does allow them to come back. They do get picks after capping. I don't know how I feel about that, because you let them cap. You gave them extra time on the time bank. If they didn't cap, Spooky Spectres would be at 8 seconds to 7 seconds. Like they would have to be scrambling to touch, and you can't just rally like that and just not touch, you know? There it is. The nano monkey looks like the primal as well, because it's a blizzard, just to zone off the rest of crewmate moment. But it looks like Josh is still able to pick off Arc in the back line here. Just that nano boost with that primal rage just makes you so hard to kill. And there you go, you see it. And taking out, just absolutely massacring the back line. Josh and, you know, the MVP for this team here, just hard carrying on the Winston.
Yes, indeed. Doing a lot on the Winston, getting nanos obviously always helps, and we're seeing trades again.
That's a nasty anti, but they're able to trade off Kaden for it, so both teams are even. Joshin falling low. Grab the beat coming in just in time, as Lettuce also popping the high noon over to the side, able to pick off Flaws and Rafa. So it looks like Spooky Spectres able to finally turn the fight into their favor as they finally get the cart rolling. Minute 30 to go.
And honestly, as weird as it is, I think if you're Spooky Spectres, you're already feeling in a better position, because rush on defense in this map is actually a whole heck of a lot better than the double bubble. Just because, especially if you're more confident on the rush and you're able to execute properly off those May walls. So you may be already looking into the future, as you already are almost down to a minute on this attack.
Kaden engaging with the D.Va duplicate and the shatter, just to make sure that you can't really get anything done with it. Zool also coming out with the self-destruct, able to take out the duplicate. As Rally coming out from Shadowcaster, Joshin in the backline with a primal, not really killing anything though. Nice peel coming out, looks like, so he will not be falling, but Chicken Nugget God taking the brunt of everything. Shachi fallen as well, and it looks like Spectres don't really hold on to that one. They are gonna have to go back to
Yes,
just
indeed,
accepting his fate. Yep, accepting his fate.
Not a whole heck of a lot you can do there, but you're entering the final fight now. You're going to have this window again, and pretty much that window is going to have to buy you time and cart pressure until you can get this blizzard online, as that's truly going to be your win con going into this fight. But the upside is crewmate, they burned all of their ultimates in that last fight. They have nothing online. They're close to a grab.
There it is.
It's already low.
Burns does have the blizzard. Oh, but Chicken Nugget God getting taken out early. Still getting antied up. You will get demeched here as well. You're down 2 players. You're down your tanks already as overtime just starts. Arc with the window. They're gonna have to start popping ultis. It's your last chance. Burns getting a nice blizzard on the cart just to make sure no one else can really touch. But the anti comes in. No one able to get healed up at all. Arc unable to use his window on time. And there it is. Spooky Spectres get held just in the middle of second point.
Unfortunate, but like I said before, maybe you're okay with that if you're Spooky Spectres. You already know you can play the rush a little bit better on the defense here. There's just so many better angs, and as you're able to, I feel like Joshin has been forced to be a little bit more reserved Maybe not with the primals on this map, but just in general, like in terms of when he dies, because we've seen it a few times. Joshin's dove in and they're able to punish him just because of the fact they're on this rush. They have the Brig stun, they have the McCree, just anything to slow the monkey down. And
Yeah, I
I think
mean,
I don't think the double bubble should be as good on attack as well. I think double bubble
yeah,
is
for
just
sure.
there's not going to be as many places to engage, and wherever you engage is pretty much going to have to be a hard commitment where your whole team is there. And if you're not winning
Yeah,
those fights guaranteed, that 4 minutes can drain away in an instant.
yeah, and as you can see, there it is, the rush coming out. Lettuce looking, just gonna chill for a little bit before getting a move on. But as you can see, there it is, the rush on the defense. They are going to be looking to play this rush. It is so much easier to execute a rush on defense because double bubble jumping at your backline, just run away. Go to their backline instead. And
Exactly.
but double
As we
bubble
see,
is just still the superior comp. But as we see, something unique. Winston Roadhog.
I mean, you're looking for picks maybe at this point. Maybe you're just on Roadhog for the first fight because it's almost like a BM tactic. But you get the hook off on the high ground.
Flaws though, once again showing his prowess on the Hanzo, picking up arc from long range. A nice hook as well from Karts, able to demech Zool, and there it is. Just as quickly as it started, it has ended the defense for
Point A.
Spooky Specters. There it
I mean,
is.
yeah,
Point A. We'll be going over that will be 5 minutes or so on the clock, which is absolutely devastating. You need to hold streets for 5 minutes is super difficult on Blizzard World because, frankly, it's Blizzard World.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be difficult, even more so because you didn't get that payload even close to the end, really. You're still kind of underneath the high ground where people could take advantage of it. Obviously, a few more stagger kills coming through before the full regroup is coming through for Spooky Specters. And these
Dude, these
staggers are still coming
staggers.
through. I mean, like at some point, if you're Spooky Specters, just leave, regroup as a team. You're still going in for no reason. You're down constantly.
Oh, that is a pin. There it is. Chicken Nugget God taking guards off the map with him. That's a main tank difference if I've ever seen.
I mean, definitely main tanks were being different there. That is something that can be accurately said. But the whole time, the crewmate moment has been on this cart. Joshin now diving the high ground, knowing he's close to Primal. And I think we're seeing another Primal Blade.
Oh, there it is. Oh, but Lettuce with the high noon. Joshin unable to get out of the way on time. Arc does fall to Flaws and Strachey as well. So Flaws able to pick off the back line here. Chicken Nugget God getting his Reinhardt duplicated, getting pinned off rip by Kaden. I think that's it. I don't think you're going to be able to touch if you are Spooky Specters, and that will be it. A nice clean 2-0 from crewmate moment, giving them, yeah, they take the dub against Spooky Specters, and they'll move on to play, I believe. Did they play?
Who do they play? Question mark. They actually will be playing the Great Wave in the game right after this.
Indeed. But this has been this roster, literally, like, these rosters on paper are the same with the standout of Josh in Overwatch, Joshua English himself. He just the fact that you have someone with like that really strong experience. I mean, like Joshin again, I believe he was the player captain for Drip Difference. Just with that expertise on his hands, right? Like crewmate moment, able to ride off the back of his leadership and you could tell. I could tell just watching this game. It felt very coordinated. It felt like crewmate moment. We're definitely the more together, the more composed team here compared to Spectres. So I gotta give it to Joshin. I mean,
really
crazy.
coordinated. Joshin, like, don't get me wrong, obviously the Winston having such a huge impact in those fights, but there's also always a nano boost coming on and things like that that help the Winston. It's not just the Winston in those fights, whether it be Bubble or Defense Matrix. But I do believe we're actually going to have an interview because we do have some of the players in the call, such as Josh and Rafa. How are both of y'all doing after that win?
Ain't no holla back, girl.
I'm doing fine.
Yeah,
Everyone, join my Spotify listening party, okay?
join
Yeah.
his
It's in
Spotify
general.
listening party.
He was literally singing the entire time.
You know,
Yeah, dude, Joshin, I mean, honestly, like that Winston play, inspirational. You did phenomenal.
Look,
I
it's
mean,
just the playlist diff, honestly.
playlist diff, so true.
Yeah.
I mean, getting in the back, you were able to get in the back line, get crazy, get 2 with Primal, 3 with Primal, just tearing up the back line, Primal Blade style. I mean, like, how does it feel? I mean, Winston's basically the one tank you can play. So,
Well, if I can only play one tank, but I'm exceptionally good at that tank, then does it matter? No.
True.
honestly, like that type of confidence, that's the sort of thing you need going into these matches.
yeah, I mean,
obviously,
Winston is meta, so it does work in your favor as well.
and then also, of course, looking towards the future, now that you've won this game, you're going to be going right into game after this up against the Great Wave. Do you guys feel confident that you're able to keep that momentum and synergy going into the next game?
Yeah.
Against-
we just
against
the
who?
playlist diff.
I believe according to Solomon.gg page I have right here, it says the Great Wave.
Who is that? Who's on that team?
Who mega lol.
Yes. Who?
No,
Mega
actually,
Lol
I
indeed.
do not know who's on that team.
So it
don't
is,
know
it
whether
is
it's prominent.
camera parody. Are the staff. So there's
Yes.
Glizzy, Paracelsus, Aurelia, Blink, Waddit, Skybeam, and Revere.
That
Oh,
it?
that team. I'm pretty sure I dumpstered that team while playing Doomfist on Tudor Ping.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not gonna
Alright.
worry.
Confident.
win.
All
we
right.
win. I think we win.
And I mean, Rafa, I mean, what you and Daniel came out today. You guys actually played really well. You guys played really strong. I mean, after being kind of the punching bag of B League, right, and the Super Bald duo. You're able to redeem yourself here. How do you feel?
I feel great. It's nice playing when people are singing very loud. And I honestly think I can do better. I just need to improve a little bit more.
I mean, if you think about it, just start singing with them. Maybe you just need to sit up. Maybe you just need a better gamer chair. Maybe that's all it takes.
Man,
I mean, yeah. I hope
I
you
just
guys
need
are.
my gamer socks.
Put on the
Gamer
gamer
socks.
socks. All right. And I mean, I don't want to hold you guys up for too long. Go take a break. You guys got another big match coming up. Semifinals. You guys will be again. You guys playing the Great Wave. I mean, best of luck.
Best of
Thanks.
luck, of course. And then
I think Joshin is gone.
yeah,
Joshin is gone. People leave. Don't forget to
what?
join his
I'm
Spotify.
here.
Oh, Joshin's still here. Don't forget to listen to his Spotify. He asked for it.
Yes,
Very nice.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
don't forget to join
it's-
his Spotify. Listen.
Can I
Thank you.
link my Spotify playlist in the Twitch chat?
Probably.
Can I link my
I-
Twitch
let's do it.
channel and chat?
I'm not going to approve it because I don't have that authority. But
but
I think it also goes without saying
Aw.
we do need to officially name the MVP. But I think we've said it enough at this point. It's Joshin. He's the
Joshua
probably-
Joshua
me.
English.
Joshua
Overwatch.
English.
Joshua
It's
English
me.
Overwatch. I mean, again, inspirational Winston play. I can't discount it. You were on the kill feed every time, so it's just there's no way to avoid it, man. There's no other player that I think is deserving of it.
Thank you very much.
Congrats, Joshin.
I hope to continue seeing those primal blades in the next match again. Crewmate moment against the Great Wave coming up.
Don't worry,
That'll be it
you'll
from-
see a Primal Blade 6K. I swear.
Mhm.
All right, if you
Yeah,
don't get
so-
if you don't get a 6K, you owe me $5. Okay.
So
Sure,
anyway,
holding you
I'm
to
going
it.
to begin wrapping this up before Joshin continues to circle jerk his ego. Make sure you stick around. We
That's not
obviously
true.
have the next game coming up very, very soon. So do not go anywhere. Maybe get up, go to the bathroom, get yourself a little snacky snack because this next game will be a banger.
Yep. It'll
And
be
yeah.
from us though. Remember, next map. will
Yo,
be-
Brian Allen.
Oh, Brian Allen has joined the call. But remember the next match, Mara and Panther will be taking you. So it'll be it from me and Mega last year. It's been great casting. Thank you guys for having us, and see you guys later. Enjoy the next game.
Yeah.
been visited by the spirit of cute white boy. Main tank differential will come your way, but only if you spam go see dub go.
Hello, welcome back to the bi-weekly British Brawl. I believe that's the name. It's me, Mara, and Recurve on short notice. Hello.
Hello, everybody. It's me.
We're gaming. We're casting.
A very last-minute casting duo, but
No, it's okay.
run it down
Happens. So we've got the Great Wave versus it is Crewmate Moment, I believe it is called, the team. So yeah, I'm looking at these rosters though, and I'm seeing Pickle Rick on the DPS, and I must say I'm very entertained by that.
Yeah, Mr. DPS is pretty interesting. I've only ever seen him play support personally, so I don't know how strong he is on that one. Josh and Monkey is surprisingly not bad. I expected, like Josh and is at every other character in this game, I expected the Monkey to be bad, and he is at least mediocre at this character, which is, you know, it's surprising to see. Which got them success and let them win the last game versus whatever the hell the team's name was. But it was still very epic from him. If you did not see, hop over to Josh's stream and listen to as he blasts copyright music fearlessly and does not communicate, and instead opts to sing along to the copyright music he's blasting in the communication. So it's a really dominant performance from him on the Monkey so far, pretty much is what I'm trying to say.
Going into Rialto, I'm just expecting some wacky double bubble from Josh, because I don't think this guy plays Ryan, and honestly I respect that. That's really base for somebody who's not actually a main tank player to not play Ryan at all. You know?
I don't see him ever switching, because I like you said, I do not think he has. Actually, no, that's not true. I have seen him on the Rhine, in some of the scrimmages, as I am also the I want to say owner of a team, twitch.tv/RecurveW, which is definitely not a self-plug whatsoever. Playing tomorrow, but I've seen him on the Rhine a couple times, but he does choose to fearlessly lock Monkey 99% of the time, which is respectable. The honest character out of the two. Rhine is, I mean, obviously still honest, but Monkey is just Monkey, so you can't go wrong.
Right. So Caden on Farah. Yeah. So I think I want to let you talk about this one a little bit. I think if you know anything about the Caden Farah personally.
I don't know about his Farah, but I like Farah. I am the Farah guy. It is true. I don't know. Like, if he can, Rialto is a really strong map for Farah overall. You can use the vertical cover from all the buildings pretty well. If you can get any value with that, it's always good. But I don't know if he'll be able to. He's starting off in a strong position in the top left, though, so we'll see what we can do with that.
Playing into Rush, he definitely has a very strong matchup here. I mean, obviously Obi-Wan's, you know, a legendary DPS player in the B League, but I want to see how the Caden Farah matches up to the Obi-Wan on the Wacky McCree hero. Lamp used really early by Paracelsus. They're gonna have a very hard time going in here against this Farah. And okay, never mind, Wadded has just domed Caden, and Obi-Wan kills Stratocaster. Even with the trade onto Glizzy's mech, it should not be a lot here. They should just win this pretty cleanly. Paracelsus does die pretty late in the fight though, so it might hamper them a little bit. Pickle Rick on the Tracer cleaning up a little bit. It's still pretty back and forth right now, honestly. Glizzy gets his mech, and Focus perishes to Wadded. Wadded on the maze, surprisingly good right here.
Yeah, in this kind of different style comps going on right now, in the double bubble versus the rush, what the rush comp wants to do is take really fast fights and get trades quickly, and the double bubble will usually win longer, drawn-out fights, like you saw they just did. Or, I mean, they hit the reset, but that's probably because they lost to Farah early, as we see 2 picks come out really quickly from it.
Currently, the Great Wave is kind of just rolling over the crewmate moment. I'm sorry, that name makes me very chuckle. Paracelsus, by the way, just casually picking up 2, just cleaning up the fight as the Baptiste of all characters. Kind of just, I don't know, that was a very, 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 very fast first point, Rialto. Like, I think that was maybe a minute 30 at the most.
Yeah, the Rush seems to really be getting the advantage here over the double bubble comp, which shows very much how both teams seems to have practiced either of the compositions. Usually you'll see Rush teams take really fast fights, like I was saying earlier, where they go heavily on either the Zarya or the Ana, but this team's just kind of out mechanicking them, it seems, throughout each fight so far. They've been scrappy and win.
So many ults used from both sides there, but it seems that Caden's Pharah and Focus on the Zarya have picked up some key kills and killing the Baptiste and the McCree. It should be another clean, finally, a stabilization from crewmate moment. I can't remember team names, I apologize. Yeah.
With 6 ults here coming out from the red team, however. The only available on the side of blue team is both of the support ultimates, so we should see pretty much a clean sweep, I would expect, coming out from red team coming into this fight, especially if they can kill Joshin early like they just did.
Yeah. So Joshin pushes up way too far and gets punished really, really hard. Glizzy initiates the bomb here, and that should just clear some more space there. Focus is forced to use personal bubble really, really early in the engagement. Skybeam is walking out, about to drop the shatter. Absolutely massive there. No shield to block him. Now he's going off the map.
That's going to be a little unlucky for Skybeam 24 on the Rhine, but I think his team did just enough to be able to clean up the fight, and it looks like they will, into a probable second point cap, unless blue team can get a quick re-engage here. And honestly, I do not think that they are getting enough value out of the Fairy here to justify the pick anymore. They're just kind of getting walked at every single fight. They're losing 1 or 2 before fights even start, with Joshua hitting the turbo feed 2 fights in a row now to actually lose his team fights. And it's just need to switch off that Pharah, and it looks like they will onto the Echo here. The Echo Mercy getting more consistent value with an executability on her E, so it seems like they should be able to stabilize off that unless these picks can coming out from red team as they have.
Honestly, these fights have just been going on for so long. They're so extended. Like, red team, or rather blue team really hasn't disengaged from a fight very well. Like, Focus died so late there. Now they have to wait for their Zarya, who just got grabbed, and Stratocaster dies before the fight even starts. This has just really been like one sort of continuously long strappy fight where the red team is just consistently getting picks after pick, and it's just continuing to absolutely roll them. Blizzard comes out from Wadded, Samberry comes out from Revere just to clean up here. Focus gets a grab out, but there's obviously not really a whole lot of value when your entire team is already dead before the fight even starts.
Yeah, staggering has been the name of the game here for this entire round so far. It seems every single fight that blue team was able to win, or that red team was able to win, I should say, was off the back of an early pick coming out from whether they got Joshin, who was in the wrong place at the wrong time, getting a flash fan and dying early. One of their supports maybe would get a bad spawn off of a point cap, and they'd push even further into their spawn, just over and over again. And that's how we really want to see Rush be played, is constantly pushing the aggression, constantly pushing a spawn over and over and over as much as humanly possible to keep the aggression at the enemy team's spawn doors, to keep them always on the back foot. And it seems like red team did that really well on the back of, I believe it was Skybeam 24 on the right.
Yeah, kind of running it down.
Just constantly running it down, getting the speed boost from his Lucio, and having really little effort the entire time to be able to take advantage of the blue team's mistakes, which just they only clearly got like 1 or 2 fights off of a grab maybe the entire map, which results in the 3:47 cap time that we're seeing right now.
So we have a mid-map sub coming in here. I believe Daniel is coming into the arena, the legendary B-League DPS or B-League support himself. You know, what are your thoughts here?
On Daniel? Who is he?
Yes.
Wait, who is he replacing?
He's replacing Stratocaster.
Oh, what was Strato playing?
He was playing Mercy, I believe.
He was playing Mercy. Okay, then all is fair. All is saved. I do not wish to view the Daniel DPS. So having him come on for Mercy specialist is pretty. It exists. It exists. That's for sure. I don't think it will be impacting the match too much. Overall, I would say. Nor will it impact the outcome, having Daniel... Well, maybe negatively, I would say, being the only possible change I could see. But other than that, you know, maybe he could pull up big on the Brig or something. You know, I don't know. Daniel's in for anything, I guess, really. What are
One
your
positive.
thoughts on the Daniel coming in, Mara? What do you think about it? What are your thoughts? Your takes?
Stratocaster is going to touch grass because he's going to play baseball, so that's important.
Going to play baseball? Oh, God,
Yes.
Meat sports.
Mid map sub to play baseball is honestly, I respect that. I respect the hell out of that. You know, I've not seen a particular amount of Daniel's gameplay. I've seen some, but obviously that was when he was on DPS, and that, you know, I don't personally believe that's indicative of his support play. I haven't watched a whole lot of that myself.
It is.
But, you know.
It is. I'll say it is. It's very indicative of support play, actually.
Yeah. Right now, the double bubble coming out here from the side of the blue team, still running the Hanzo, still running the Echo, but they're not running a Mercy, they're instead running a Brig, which I definitely think could help if since there is a lot of pressure being put under Rafa on the ground, on the Ana. So maybe it can help them out just to try and slow down the fights, but even then, like, they're not gonna really realistically win in long fights. So it has to be off to some, like, explosive starts from, you know, Joshin or Kaden or Meester on the Hanzo, even just getting a lucky headshot.
Yeah, and with Joshin going down early in a lot of these fights, I don't think we're going to be able to see that unless he adapts his playstyle, which I don't think he can based off the fact that he's blasting party in the USA currently. So if he can, more power to him, but so far I have not definitely seen that from him. As we do see, Red Team's still sticking to that rush style. It's worked so well for him, so we'll see if they can evaluate it.
Meester on this Hanzo just slowly creeping up to that dragon here. If they can get an early dragon, they might be able to split the tanks from the supports, maybe somehow secure a pick there, and maybe with just dealing a little bit of damage to the tanks for Kaden to execute them with a beam. It could definitely be a start for them here as long as they can just get the ults rolling. Skybeam pushing up so far, big ante from Rafa, getting dangerously low, but gets the lamp from Paracelsus, and Rivera already almost has a beat, and it's not even been a minute. This man is doing God's work on this Lucio right now, just healing so much. Obi, Joshin. Okay, so they nano monkey into a high noon and then he just dies.
Joshin somehow, despite having his stream title as Smurfing in B-League tournament, is somehow the worst player on the field so far, which has been pretty impressive from him. Like I said earlier, a lot of the value that these rush comps get is from fast fights. You want fights to end quickly and to do as much damage as you possibly can in a short burst on enemy tank lines that are static or support players that are static, to end fights fast and to get kills fast. But it seems like on this double bubble from blue team, they're just not able to get the value out of the extended fights that they should be doing in the first place. They aren't being able to kill members of the rush squad early on, and it's resulting in the fight losses.
All right, so they've won a fight because of using like every ult they had, which, you know, they want to fight. But importantly, though, the red team really doesn't have that much right now. They have a beat, a shatter, and a bomb. If Joshin can go manimal mode for a little bit and just block the shatter with the bubble, you know, I'd be impressed. I'm waiting to see it. Rivera's with this beat could definitely be an answer to the aggression. The early aggression onto, I can only assume, would be Paracelsus on this Baptiste here. Bombing HM from Gliziator. Oh, lands on top of the card and kills both tanks. Oh, that's devastating. Can't really happen there. And now this fight's really over. So you can't do much
the aggressive
there.
bomb on the recontest from Glizzy is really, really good from him. Kills 2 people. Obviously, even if it didn't kill anybody, the space created, allowing his team to push in would have been good enough. Didn't happen. 2 people died to D.Va bombs. B-League Overwatch, as expected. But coming into this fight, you still see the ult advantage on the side of red team, because off the back of that D.Va bomb, they didn't really need to use anything else. Obviously, they dropped the shatter, didn't really need it after the D.Va bomb, but still, you'll see an ult advantage coming in from red team, which is going to be really crucial in them holding this first point, which is a very strong possibility now.
Joshin has to come up big with this nano here, and maybe if he can get a prime off this fight might be winnable, but Obi right now taking a lot of early damage using that high noon in a very risky position, getting behind the window and behind his Reinhardt shield, now just doing so much poke from basically across the map, even with the range fall off, it's double damage. Rafa does pick off Rivera though, which is actually pretty big because there's no sound barrier now, but Bri'ish traded out by Obi-Wan, Blizzard invested by Watt, and now just getting so many picks from this. The Blizzard is just so much CC. Like, what are you gonna do? You don't have defensive ults on this comp. You have a rally, but that's really about it.
Yeah, that freeze there at the end of that fight to freeze up the Brig and kill her at the end is probably going to seal the deal. Right here is Joshin pops the Primal to try and extend the fight a little bit, but just not going to be enough as they have 10 seconds now and they're going to have to really scramble to this point to try and get a contest.
I believe Meester can touch. if he... Oh, there's the May wall. Never mind. Maybe? Perhaps?
Despite
Yeah.
Daniel's best effort.
He got it. Focus. Inspirational gameplay on the Zarya here.
Yeah, this is going to be a slow bleed to end the game as Caden drops the copy onto the Lucio. Is going to be dispatched very quickly here, and it's going to lead to a one-map advantage now for the red team. As kind of expected with the pretty dominant rush performance overall. Joshin just not looking as strong on the monkey there as he did in the first match that we saw him in today. And it results in, after a couple of really, really unfortunate early kills by him, as well as really bad ult rotations, and only coming off fight wins only coming off of 6 ult advantages, huge ult investments from blue team, it will result in them going down 1 in this series.
I must say, though, with that Diva Bomb on the recontest, you said it was B-League gameplay, but it was only A-League players who died to that Diva Bomb, is all I'm going to say to you.
Was it? That's funny. My bad. Sorry, B-League players.
It was only Josh and Focus, so...
Well, true and real. My bad.
Don't disrespect them, I don't know.
Sorry, BPL gameplay in general, I should say.
There you go, that's
Diva
more
bombs.
accurate. I don't know what map they're going to pick here, because I believe it is Hybrid, is my guess?
Is Kings Row in the pool? Give me some Kings Row.
Kings Row is not in the
anymore.
pool.
That's tragic. You guys are cowards.
It is Blizzard, Eichenwald, and Nimbani. I can totally see them going to Nimbani, honestly. Monkey.
I personally, if they want to go on a double bubble, I can definitely see a Nimbani. Blizzard World is also a really, really clear advantage towards Rush, so I won't see them picking that. Eichenwald is kind of a 50-50 split. Double bubble has a huge advantage on second point, but really falls flat on kind of 50-50 on first point, and really falls flat on third. So depending on what they're going for, I could definitely see a Nimbani pick from the blue team. Like you said, just based off their own compositional advantages that they have.
Well, they picked Blizzard World, so yeah.
This really can work. It's
yeah, it can work.
First point is definitely hard to break out of, because if you are running the defensive rush, there's nothing really that you can jump at, and your Zarya and your Brig and your Ana are really put out in vulnerable positions. So we could see, honestly, if red team's defending first, I could see the possibility of a full hold if they stick to this double playstyle. Or we could see Josh on the Rhine, which I don't think anybody wants to see at this point, if they want to mirror the rush. But it's very clear that red team is practiced on this rush, so I don't think they want to take the mirror. I think it's a real big mistake not going on Nimbani.
Well, blue team is on defense. Yeah. So I wonder if they can, fix some of their issues they had last night, mainly with the defense of ult cycling and Joshin just not being in incredibly inspirational positions. Sometimes, I could definitely see them maybe pulling it back here. I think Joshin, at this point, after 2 years of this, a vast sub-tourney BPL stuff, has a mental of unobtainium. Honestly, his mental is as hard as diamond. You can't stop this man unless he's on Winston.
Oh, you can stop him. He gets stopped quite often. In fact, I do not think he has won anything. I haven't either, to be fair to him. But he is most definitely a stoppable force and a movable object on the Winston especially. So we could see a lot of different things come out from him. I really hope he goes Rhine from the bottom of my heart. I truly want to see him hit it and get absolutely tank diffed by my boy Skybeam24. But please, I'm begging Josh, 2 seconds, 1 second, please come out with the Rhine. And he sticks to the monkey. That's
I DM'd him asking if he could go Ryan. I'm very... this is match fixing. I don't care. I want to see him on Ryan.
Tragic. It is good to see them come out with the Brig instead of the Mercy, though. I feel like it'll have them... it'll give them a little bit of a semblance of sustain in the long fights that seem to be happening consistently. The Mercy is really unable to peel for her Ana as much as she'd like because she's pocketing the DPS most of the time. So having this Brig to anchor down the Ana, to anchor down the Zarya, is going to be really important for the blue team to have coming into this, these early fights especially. But once the ult fights start getting in, once the ult generation starts happening, once teams start coming up on their first ultimates, I really want to see blue team be a little bit more conservative on their use of ultimates, because it seems they would dump all 6 ults, dump 5 ults into a fight to stabilize, and then lose the fight immediately afterwards. So if they can come back and stabilize with those a little bit this fight, it could be good for them.
Red team is currently opting to mirror the double bubble, which is definitely an interesting move for me because they look real good in Rush. I don't really see a reason why to not play it, but you know, if you practice it here, I guess you did. Yeah, I think this is definitely more of Josh's comfort zone. Glizziator jumping in so deep, but Daniel and Meester die so fast. The Echo and the DPS of Red team, that's almost immediate. Just how fast those two players died, and now there's Art immediately on the back foot.
Yeah, there's just, especially with how little peel there was, almost no cooldowns were even used by the time Wadded was on the back line on the Echo there. Exploding that fast and losing a support that quickly, as we see Focus AFK to death to Glizziator on the Monkey. Losing two players that quickly results in just a quick reset on first point. You're not going to win that fight. You're not going to be able to turn it, especially on when you're not on Rush, where you can hard commit onto somebody to make equalizing trades. This mirror, it looks like so far that Red team is just hard team diffing Blue. At like every single opportunity. The support line is staying alive longer, the DPS are winning their 1v1s, and the tanks are occupying more space consistently.
Yeah, I completely agree. And now, I mean, it's just the slow roll to the end of the map here for Blue team. Unless they can come up with some heroic Spartan-like defense here, I don't think this is really happening. And I mean, there's just more early picks, and Glizziator is just going silly on this Winston right now, I must say. Having a very inspirational performance, you know, this guy, kind of a gamer.
And we're seeing exactly what happened in the last map happen once again. It seems Blue team has not learned their lesson. An entire full stagger. I do not think they're actually going to get a full 6-man team fight on the second point. No, they won't. They will kept entirely through second point without taking a single fight. And this is just after this, it has to be a wake-up call for the Blue team. They had a full reset to try and get your teammates all back together so we can take a 6-man defensive fight, because it just has not happened in the past 2 maps.
Well, definitely seems like they're trying that right now. They've regrouped successfully. They can go for a Nano Monkey here, but I mean, this is honestly prime opportunity for Blue team to come back here if they can get a proper Nano Monkey engage off, because Red team really doesn't have many ults right now. They're building up to them. The longer they take to engage here, that's going to decrease. And yep, the dupe comes out from Wadded, and the high noon from Obi-Wan just finishes off the entirety of Blue team. The tanks got no picks there. It was literally just a DPS right there.
Yeah, it was the copy from Wadded onto the Hanzo, surprisingly, and getting value with the Storm Arrow, killing 2 people. The pace overall from Red team is just so much faster. They're deciding when each engage happens and going earlier than anybody else, and just the speed at which they're playing is deciding this game so far.
Nano Monkey comes out from Paracelsus onto Glizziator, not getting any picks. Now, Dragon, finally something to stabilize for Blue team here. I hope it's the start of something new, because I really don't want to watch another, you know, like 5-minute time bank here in this series. That's just kind of boring, you know.
Well, we have another situation that happened in the exact same way the previous map, where if you look at the ult banks from either team, only Rally coming up from the Blue side, and I believe that's just because Daniel takes 4 years to charge the Rally. Otherwise, he would have popped it in that fight. So that's 5 ults down on the Blue team, and Red team is only coming up with the Primal themselves on the offensive, but they can play the game much slower and win the duels that they have been the entire game.
Well, if they can get a good rallying engage here, it could definitely be good for their ult economy as long as they can successfully win the fight. But right now, with Focus taking so much damage, pushed up so far, it doesn't even die to the explosion of the Stickies, just dies to the impact of the Stickies themselves. Glizziator is traded out. But currently there is a spawn advantage right now, so it would be pretty smart for them to disengage here, especially with that pick onto Paracelsus. Even trading out onto Daniel here shouldn't be a huge deal. Wadded may be coming up with 2. Actually, that's quite big for them here if they can continue to get more picks, but it should just be a disengage realistically.
Yeah, Wadded with some heroics makes the fight actually winnable. Only 3 players on the side of Blue team still available, and with Glizziator finding Focus once again before the fight even starts, and Pickle Rick going down as well, it just seems like it's going to be another slow bleed, and they're going to, even despite killing 2 people in the middle of that fight, it seems like this is going to result in a full cap on the side of Red team.
Wadded dupes the Winston, finally a main tank back in his domain on the Monkey. Should just be a pretty clean full cap here from the Red team. 3 minutes is nothing to sneeze at.
There you go. It's a 3-minute cap. And this is not looking too good for Blue team here. Just only fight wins off the back of 5, 6 ultimates being popped at the same time. Just really poor teamwork being shown overall. I hate to be this grim, but not too many positive sides coming out from the side of blue team. However, on the side of red team, just always keeping the aggression up, never giving the chance, giving blue team, that is, the chance to breathe, to get a quick reset. The only fight they won, I believe, in the entirety of the defense for blue team was when they grabbed Dragon and popped like Nano and Dupe as well. So it just takes so much to take red team down, and I think that's in large part off the exceptional DPS play from Wadit. His copies have been pretty high value, despite missing a copy on third point there and grabbing the Hanzo. Still managed to get value out of it regardless. Always good neutral game as well, finding 2 picks early on the first point, taking out one of the support players on the side of blue team, resulting in a quick first point cap without really much effort at all. And I believe like 30 to 45 seconds. And just also really good support. Rovier providing him with packs in the mid-fight, letting him play as aggressive as he is overall. And Glizziator with really clean engages. Always demanding space. Joshin kind of being denied the high ground whenever he's trying to set up a defensive position because of all of the resources that he's getting and the clear tank line combination difference so far. As it seems that Glizzy and Skybeam are much more in tune with each other than Focus and Joshin have been.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't say much more. Like, this is a complete mirror, but these players are playing totally differently, and it's impressive how much of a difference there is between these players. Glizziator taking a lot of burst damage early, gets stunned out, but Joshin gets traded off in the back line, I believe. Now, I mean, the defenders obviously have an advantage just because they have high ground. They have supports up who don't need to use cooldowns to engage. And now if they really wanted to take an aggressive fight here, they probably could. I mean, obviously they're not going to because you're down your monkey, so it's not really the wisest choice. But Joshin is coming back here, so this will be another 6v6 team fight here. Focus taking a lot of really damage here, might die in this in really this pre-fight, because this fight never really started.
Huge nade comes out early as well, despite nobody able to capitalize off them on the side of the Rich will be able to kite it.
And now, I mean, they have point control. Focus does pick off Wadit, which is actually pretty big. That's a huge chunk of your damage here. If they can continue to secure kills, this will be a pretty decent first point cap for the blue team, which might show some life still left in them, even after the brutal thrash in the first and second, like the first map and the first half of this map.
Yeah, and that should result in a clean cap, and we'll see the 5-minute time bank come out from the side of blue team off the back of just a really good disengage that they had after losing Joshin on the monkey early on in that trade. They realized, okay, we have better spawns, he'll be back faster, we can take more space early on. Even if he'll be back at about the same time, we'll be able to aggress off of it. And they actually were able to take the space, and now they have a huge ult advantage coming into the next fight.
They have a huge ult advantage. They didn't cap as fast as red team, but they still cap pretty darn fast. Now, Nano and Monkey engage coming in, from both sides actually. Joshin popping the primal to try and secure some kills here, getting pretty close to killing Paracelsus. Boops Obi-Wan over the edge and kills Focus too! Oh no, Joshin. Oh no.
Joshin with his really just stellar monkey play, knocking the high nooning McCree into 4 people and allowing 2 of your teammates to die because of the high ground, or I guess the space McCree, really, as he sent him into orbit during that high noon, which is pretty unlucky for him. And now the red team are going to use that opportunity to just take space and hold their spawn
and just get more picks, which has kind of been the name of the game. They're just always playing really aggressively, and just even into the post fight, like they're just getting kills really when they shouldn't be. Like, you're at their spawn, you should not be killing the Brigitte. It should not be happening. This is illegal.
Well, anything is possible when Daniel is the Brigitte in question. However, like you said, the picks have been coming out really consistently. Despite that, Focus still finding Obi-Wan early on and dropping the grab.
Big grab, but I mean, there's no follow-up, and now Water just cleans up the rest of the fight. Kaden does get an exit frag, and they're duping the Brig. Kaden's running it down mid, the double rally. Oh, I'm very excited to see this one. Currently 1-0
is pretty interesting, considering they lost 3 members of their own team. The dupe rally comes out, but it's going to expire very quickly, and red team's just going to be able to soft reset there. That was kind of an over investment on a fight that wasn't very winnable.
Paracelsus, I think actually they could secure that kill. No, not managing to, but it is a big grab from Focus, leading to actually some pretty decent picks there. But it's still being traded out by the members of red team. Joshin in the backline with a primal, barely finishing off Obi-Wan here. It's just still a very, very scrappy fight from both sides. Focus is very close to getting out with like 100 charged. Oh, barely dies there to Gladiator at their spawn of all places.
Yeah, a
And
lot of
now
rolls
Josh-
dropped on either side, but it just wasn't enough. It seems like the commitments from Blue Team are at really inopportune times. Whenever they're down members, 1, 2, 3 people, they'll try and turn the fight, but I just don't think they have the mechanic advantage between both teams. They'll be losing these duels. They're losing players in fights that they're trying to swing. They'll get kills, but they'll lose 2 in return. It's just not enough. They need a clean 6K here.
Good nano onto Joshin, but again, Rivera just in the back line, I believe, picks off Daniel with a flail. And now Joshin is just stranded there, not really doing a whole lot. Caden, though, trading out the Brigitte, and Paracelsus is quite low. If they can secure kills onto both of these supports, which they do, this fight might be winnable, but even with Focus dying in return, I don't know, because both of the both the supports rather will be coming back probably relatively soon, and unless they can continue to finish off these kills, which doesn't seem to be happening at a particularly fast pace right now.
It seems like they're doing a pretty good job of taking space, and this may result in the cap. No, that Red Team will get a recontest as Caden drops the dupe here.
Caden gets a pretty meaty, or a pretty early primal off here. If you can bully the tanks off, you might be able just to sneak a cap in here. Doesn't seem like that's happening because the entirety of the Red Team has come back, and Wada drops the primal of his own. All of the ults being used for Red Team right now, and Caden gets picked, but immediately coming out of the dupe from Obi-Wan. And now, what are you really going to do without your Echo and without your Winston in that case? Just
There's 4
leave.
primals on the field at one point in that fight. Both Wadit and Caden both copied monkeys, and all 4 monkeys were primaling at the same time. And despite that, Red Team still will come out on top, dropping the High Noon and getting value. Obi already, even though dropping the High Noon in the middle of that fight, already 70% to his next one. Wait, I'm totally wrong. There's only three primals. Sorry, not entirely Rise of the Planet of the Apes. We still have Gladiator holding onto his own primal.
We were close, though. That's the important part.
Both support ults, though, still coming up from the Blue Team as well as a grab, as the grab is dropped early.
Catches Paracelsus. Actually, I think that's kind of value right there, because now who's going to keep Wadded alive? I guess Rivera with his packs, but he only has so much of those. But Meester dies to the primal of Gladiator in the backline, and now there's only 5 seconds left. Caden does pick off Rav, which could lead to something here, but Josh is getting caught in the grab and getting high nooned. Caden is trying their darndest to win this fight. With the rally from Daniel, it should be pretty set in stone. I don't think you can really win this fight for the red team here. Just some late staggers.
Go down, but it just isn't enough as Caden gets a 4K to clean up that final fight. And now we're coming into 1 minute and 30 seconds left, only available on the side of blue team. The only way that they'll be able to possibly win this map is if they get pretty much every single fight from here on out as a clean 6K and cap with maybe around 20 seconds remaining. But they need some time on the board. They cannot afford to go or to let red team come into an attack with 3 minutes when they have nothing. They need to cap here and quick.
I mean, having a Nano Monkey and a dupe is definitely something that could lead to that. But on the other side, they're coming up to some ults of their own, mainly the Primal and the High Noon, as well as the Duplicate and the Nano. It should be... I'd say it's pretty cut and dry here, just because of the ult event alone. Nano Monkey used by Paracelsus into the backline kills both the supports almost immediately. Mister does pick up Wadded late, but it's not going to be enough to really win this fight. Focus just resetting on the cart there. Rafa does have a Primal Rage here, and Meester did manage to build up a Pulse Bomb pretty quickly there. There is an ult advantage right now for the blue team, but even if they cap, it's going to be an OT.
So we'll see blue come in here with 5 fights.
Meester, okay, sure.
And fight 2 early on, which is going to be huge for blue team here coming into this fight. They can't afford to lose any members, though.
If anyone dies here, that's catastrophic. Wada goes in with a dupe Primal, should get it almost immediately, and now Rafa falls to Wadded on the Winston. That's catastrophic. I don't know if you're coming back from that one. Even with the dupe from Caden onto the Zarya, you need to kill this monkey before he kills Daniel, and Daniel is getting close to that rally, so it's even more important. Joshin does kill Obi. Joshin kills both DPS of the red team, in fact. Gets solo grabs Glizzy as well. That should be a cap for blue team by the skin of their teeth.
And they will get the 3 cap, which is, I'll give it to them, some sign of life right towards the end. You know, very, very, very impressive to get all 3 points there. However, they do need to hit a very stalwart hold on first point Blizzworld, which, as we know, happens quite a bit in all levels of play. Blizzard first is probably one of the most annoying points to first cap overall, up there with like first point Numbani and the 2 CP second points. It's pretty difficult to get because of the high ground availability from the defending team. So you can see some signs of hope for drawing this map, as that is their only hope at this point, with 3 minutes available for red team. But it's going to be a tough road to get there, with obviously red team coming in with just very, very quick first point caps, very fast fight wins on the offensive in pretty much every map that they've played so far versus this team, as they're kind of teasing a Ryan Zarya comp where it's like kind of rush, but it's not really rush. I really honestly hate their comp. If they come out with this, there's a good chance that they could get full held unless they just run at somebody and just out-mechanic them. I would really like to see maybe a Mei or a Diva come out from red team instead of this Ryan Zarya composition. But if this is what they want to play, if this is how they want to beat the double bubble hold on first that blue team is coming out with, then we'll see its effectiveness, with Wadit doing a lot of work on the Echo so far in every aspect of the game. So maybe this is just his comfort pick.
You know, Meester on the Tracer was a little inspiring there at the end, getting the double pulse bomb, so I can understand wanting to stand that here. Into the rush, though, is going to be a lot to ask for him to kill Paracelsus basically every fight, because that's how you're going to want to win this for the side of the blue team. And with a big anti-down under Rivera and a decent amount of poke damage as well, is a decent start. But Kaden taking so much damage from the B of Wadit and Joshin falls, that's just GG. There's no way you come back from that one.
-5, and that's gonna be it. The 2-0, the quick 2-0 from, or not quick, kind of mid-length 2-0.
It was a decently lengthy 2-0
from TGW here, from the side of off the back of Skybeam's impressive main tank gameplay, and Wadit on the Echo doing way more on Echo than any other DPS in the lobby was doing, despite the heroic efforts that was attempted from Meester there in that game. Just Wadit doing a lot of work on Echo overall, and Skybeam leading the charge in the rush comp, and also providing the space on the double bubble comps, that they showed a little bit of flexibility overall in their team. That they're not just hard grinding rush, they can also show up on double bubble and beat the team that practiced it the most, obviously with Joshin being a monkey one trick. So GG's to them, good game.
So I think we're coming up to some interviews here. Also, what was I don't even remember what I was gonna say at this point. That game kind of just happened. Oh yeah, higher seed advantage. It kind of happened there. Honestly, that was not close. Honestly, I don't want to be rude, but that series was a little bit of a blowout, unfortunately. But I mean, it happens. So, you know,
it happens to the best of us. But they gave it a good effort. So
yeah,
GG's to them. I am gonna be perfectly honest with you. I do not know the format. So are they out, or is it?
Yeah, it's single elim. Yes.
Oh, they're out. Goodbye. Good luck. Sorry, Joshua. You're already gone.
Hello, Wadit, from Echo Gameplay Gamer Guy.
Yeah, that guy. That's me.
I'll let you handle the interviews because you know way more than I do, Mara.
So you could say that, sure. Wadit. So, I thought you guys were just, a bunch of slimy, disgusting rush one tricks, and you pull out the Echo. Very inspirational gameplay coming out from you. Were you guys practicing both comps, I assume? It looked like you were.
No.
Okay.
I haven't played Echo in scrims before. Glizzy's our off tank, and Sky's our main tank. And we put Glizzy on the Winston because you want to play Winston, and yeah. And it worked pretty well, and so now we still have a couple more tricks up our sleeves, I guess you could say.
Ooh, I'm excited to see that. I don't know if I'm going to be casting the other days at this point, but I'm excited to see that no matter what. How's the team doing right now? What were your guys' thoughts going into this match? Anything in particular, really? Did you expect to play either one of these teams?
I'm not sure who we expected to really play, but on our warm-up, we just talked about having fun and just playing to play Overwatch,
Yeah,
there's nothing really on the line here, so you know.
yeah, it's understandable. You just
No
want to have
pressure.
when you're gaming gamer games. You know, this is the off season. This is the British, the the I can't- the bi-weekly British Brawl. There you go. I couldn't get that out of
Got
my
it.
mouth. You know, this is pride, not prize. We're just trying to have fun here. You know, I'd say that was pretty evident in our cast. Not a little bit silly.
Joshin
From,
sucks. Joshin sucks is what you will get when you watch back the cast. It's me calling Joshin bad in 50 different ways.
That is true.
Well, I don't.
Um, hmm. I honestly don't have that many questions. I'm not the interviewing type, to be honest with
You guys just popped off. You guys just did a great
Yeah.
job. You looked pretty much every aspect of the game played better than the other team. Tank line, support line, DPS line just performed better, even though you guys were playing off roles. Joshua was playing Party in the USA at full blast while not calming and singing along. So that perhaps aided in his downfall in this B League tournament, despite saying that he was smurfing in it. So I love the guy, but maybe a little bit of hubris coming out from the boy himself. But regardless, you took advantage of it. So good job. Congrats to you.
Yeah, shout out to Obi too. Popped off as the ringer.
And
that
he's
guy
okay.
is cool. He's okay. Yeah.
Nah, he's okay. He's nothing special, but you know, he's alright.
Yeah, you know, he's a bit of a weak player myself. I've played with the guy before. I've managed him. You know, he's a little bit small fry, but you know he can pull his weight sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's not somebody I would work out in the gym with, but you know.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah, I think that's really about it. So we will see you guys tomorrow. I would assume starting around the same time, probably after Owl, so 7-8 EST. I don't know time codes, time translations. That's higher than my brain function really allows me to.
Yeah. I get
So
it.
yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.